Eckhart Tolle said, acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. My friend got a promotion this year and I'm still in the same role. They bought their first house and I'm still renting. Look how those people travel so much while I'm saving for every penny that I earn, and I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Did you know our kids are speaking 2 languages already? And mine is struggling with speech delay. Oh, she lost so much weight this year and I'm still stuck. You know, my baby weight is still on me. Have you seen her skin lately? I can't seem to get rid of my acne. It just sucks. I'm just tired of it. Did you hear they just got engaged? Yeah, and I'm still here 39. She turned 23 last week. Can you see that? Their marriage looks so perfect. But we're always arguing. We're always constantly arguing. I just don't get it. Did you see their Instagram post? Their business has 10,000 followers already and mine barely has 100. I can hardly get 2 committed people to like my post on a daily basis. He's completed his master's and I'm still working on my undergraduate degree. Did you visit them? Their home looks so beautifully decorated. The pictures I'm seeing on Instagram is just so mad. But I can't even afford to buy new sheets for my bed. Yes, you know, maybe some of these things, maybe the same thoughts, you may have had it at some point this year. Is that period again. Sisters, misters, the year is coming to an end and this is another episode of Notformyvillagepeople. I promised you all I was going to record a rag status on live episode. And I also promised or had some people hold me accountable that I will sort of try as much as possible to get to 50 episodes before the 31st of December. I don't know how that's panning out because, you know, I'm all hands on deck with this event that is coming up on the 7th of December. I don't know if you are listening to this or if this will be going live after or before the event, but yeah, I'm recording it anyways. And the event, I'm right here, right now, talking about it. I'm praying to God Almighty that it just is amazing. It impacts life as much as more than I even envisaged, more than I thought about, more than the download was dropped in my heart. I feel like it's needed for people. Again, it's the end of the year and all the things I've just said are part of the rag status, invisible rag status that we all put our lives into, we box our lives into. For those of you that don't know what I mean by rag status, you know, it's a project management terminology where you have the rag, the R stands for red, the A stands for amber, the G stands for green. And directly or indirectly, we sort of put our lives in these boxes without literally saying it out. I was having a chat with a friend of mine a couple of weeks back and, you know, conversations just led into it. And you know what? We sometimes, and we maybe should put our life in that so we would be able to potentially, if it helps you, highlight the parts of your life that are in greens. Because something that I know about life, something about that I know very few decades on planet Earth, that all of our areas, you know, when things are thriving, that's our green sides, right? We tend to put it, you know, the green sides, especially when they're green. You know, when we're working towards them, it's easier to like focus on them. But as soon as they turn green, oh yeah, we're focusing on another amber type of situation or another red type of situation. Now, things are okay but needs attention are those things we usually would box under the amber sections of our life. And areas where challenges prevail, maybe where you're struggling, where you're having, you know, downtime, that's where we would usually put the red thing, you know, oh my God, it's not going well right now in my relationship. It's not going great right now in my career. My children are misbehaving, you know, that's the red zone. But sisters, misters, do you know what? You know, when I always say, I'll continue to say that whenever I come on this podcast, I am here to remind myself as well. And it's the end of the year, you know, around the time of the year. I'm sure if you scroll back to the episode I recorded at the end of last year, you probably find, is this podcast over a year already? I can't even remember when it all started. But the gist is I'm working towards 50 episode. This is going to be 47th episode. You know, I don't even know anymore at this point. But the point I'm trying to make is one way or the other, either on an episode or on the Instagram post, I'm sure I record a video around this time of the year or record something around this time of the year while I'm talking about, you know, what are you focusing on in this particular season? Because it does that tingling feeling to me, which is why I'm recording it now to sort of, because I know I am not alone on this boat or on this side of the coach. much. It does that thing to me, end of the year, beginning of the year, or even around my birthday, where I tend to feel a type of way. And I'm sure a lot of people feel a type of way around this time of the year, because we're doing like a kind of a report writing of what happened in our life for the year. We're taking scores, we're checking, the job we said we're gonna get this year, did we get it? That relationship we wanted to start, did we do it? The date we wanted to go, did we do? The traveling we wanted to do, the savings we wanted to do. It's December now. You did promise in January that you were gonna be doing it. Did you do it? So it's around this time we start to check and balance and see what exactly is in the greens, what's amber, what is red. But sisters, misters, how often have you truly celebrated the greens in your life this year? 2024 be 2024 in, life be life in, adulthood be adulthood in, sisters, misters. But one thing I assure you, if you're listening to this right now, you're on Spotify. You're on Spotify, check, there's some people, they can't even get a Spotify because they don't even have a mobile phone. There are some people out there that, they can't even use a mobile phone where they're at right now because they are plugged onto machines so bad that they don't need any radio, whatever, interfering with their health or their survival expectations that they've been placed on as a result of their deteriorating life. It's not because I'm happy about it, but I'm just saying that you're on Spotify, you're listening to this, you're on YouTube, you're on any platform where you're listening to this right now. So yeah, sisters, misters, yeah, something is different, right? Something is different in that box. You've got some greens that you're able to highlight. But how often have you celebrated the greens in your life this year? I'm not talking about last year. I'm not talking about the year before. I'm talking about 2024. Because yeah, it's December, yeah? Yeah, I know it. It's December and we're able to see a lot of the reds and the ambers. How about the greens? Now, Eckhart Tolle said, acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. Did you feel that as much as I felt it? Yeah, no. I record my podcast episodes for just myself. Yes. Do you know? And also for some of those people that believe it's helping them one way or the other. By the way, I had a call this week from someone I'm not going to mention because I feel like they're going to be listening again to this particular episode. But I got a call from someone, actually from a few people, so not just from one someone. And I was telling it to my sisters and they're like, oh my God, you got fans. So I'm blushing right now. You can't see me, but I did promise sometime this year that I'll be recording some of these episodes with my face there. But you know what? I'm not there. Let me just keep doing this behind the Blue Yeti microphone without nobody seeing me. By the way, I'm recording this time around on my bed because I can't be bothered to pick up the Blue Yeti microphone, and I just wanted to get this download out there to you guys. So acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. Sisters, misters, when was the last time you acknowledged the good in your life? Or has it gotten that bad that you don't even see any good anymore? It's possible. Ooh, I've reached some highs and lows, extreme highs and extreme lows this year that I'm starting to think maybe you're bipolar, Esther, because I don't understand. No, I've had some emotional meltdown, breakdown this year. Even I don't recognize me. For those of you that follow me on those other platforms, social media platforms like the likes of Snapchat or WhatsApp or things like that, I wrote several times this year that I'm finding me, finding me more. I was finding Esther this year because I did not recognize Esther. The Esther that I met this year, I don't understand the Esther that I met this year because the Esther I met this year is different. Just like it's been different for many months and a couple years now, since God knows when. It's a revelation of new Esther to me every now and again. But this year, I had some bad meltdown. There was a particular Monday. Oh my goodness. I cried uncontrollable tears for the whole day in traffic. Walking, I went to IKEA that day. Everybody that saw me at IKEA that day would probably think, you know what, girl, sit down. But nobody actually stopped me to see, are you okay? I was literally just crying. And then in the car, no, my old woman, she's not old. My mom, she was so worried. She almost flew herself down to the UK to like, what's going on? So this year I met one of my lowest self. And the crazy part is I've been meeting a lot of my lowest self in recent times. I think since since 2021. And she's so different from the person I know or want to be. She's different from it. She's different from that girl I saw in the mirror at 17, at 13, at 16, at 21. She's so different from the girl I saw at 25. It's changing. I don't pray she remains. I want a gun, that version of her. I want a gun, that version of me. I want a gun. I found myself in spaces this year where I typed onto Google. Yes, I did. I typed onto Google, how can I be less emotional? I asked Google, and something about Google, something about this bots, the AI and everything like that. What you search on your phone, it's like it just feeds it back to you. I searched for that, literally that. I typed onto Google, how can I be less emotional? And the first option it brought to me was my Bible app. It took me to what's it called? It took me to a Bible plan that I eventually did, that I started about a year or two ago, but I never finished. But this year I finished it. Now I can't even remember what it's called now. I probably will pin it down in the caption. But yes, that's how low some of my days has got this year. But also I celebrated a lot of, there were a lot of screams, shouts, congratulations, celebratory messages that happened to me this year. So for those of you that are, if you're listening and you're wondering, what does she mean by green, ambers, and red? Greens represent achievements, progress, areas where things are going well for you. It could be personal, professional, maybe sometimes spiritual even, or even maybe relational victories. It could be any one of those things. When we talk about ambers, ambers are like cautions, stay at the alert. Are you awake? Don't sleep. There could be areas that need more effort, or maybe there aren't necessary areas where you're failing at, but they're just not moving. It's just stagnant. Nothing great is happening. Nothing bad is happening. It's just there. Okay. And when we talk about the red, do I even need to explain what red means? Those are parts where you're struggling or where you need urgent attention. If I have $1 or £1, for every time someone told me this year, or one of my, not one, but my close niche people, my close, the circle, and my family members told me, what, Esther, you need therapy. I would be a wealthy woman. It's December, for every time they told me that this year, I will be a wealthy woman. And someone is listening now, you're thinking, Esther, is she getting help though? I'm worried about you. I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm worried about me. I'm concerned. And I got loads of people telling me accountable to read. But when I do this as well as part of my therapy, and someone is saying, no, this is not therapy, Esther. You talking, you blessing us with your words and stuff is not therapy. Yes, I know that too. But there are a lot of other things. I've got faith. I've got my faith. Okay, let me stop that conversation now, because I feel like a lot of you are going to start, you guys are going to bombard me. I've got a few people that listen to my podcast that they actually have my home address. So I feel like they're going to be on my door with a therapist and say, what, she needs help. Please help that girl. Please help that girl. Anyways, your greens are your wins, no matter the size. If you planted seeds, watered them, and saw them grow, sisters, misters, please go and celebrate it. You deserve to celebrate it. If you've planted any form of seeds this year or the year before, if you've watered the seeds that you planted, and if you've seen the plants, the seeds you planted, if you've seen it grow, chai, accolades, whoever is editing this for me this time around, please, drum roll. Because you all deserve to celebrate it. Those are your greens. But I know at the end of every year, the reds and ambers seems to be the, the talk of the town, the talk of the mind, the imposter syndrome. When sister imposter syndrome comes, imposter syndrome comes to visit. Those are the things they talk into your ears and your mind. I have this event coming up now in a couple days, in just few hours. And I'm here thinking, oh my God, please let it go well. Please let it go well. And every time I say that word well, I remember this Oprah Winfrey's short clips that is on the internet. Just type Oprah Winfrey when, if it doesn't go well, and you will see the video I'm talking about. And she was being interviewed many years ago. I think about 20 or 30, 40 years ago. She was being interviewed by someone. And the interviewer asked, what if you don't succeed in this area of expertise? And she said, if it doesn't succeed, I will still succeed. I will be, if it doesn't go well, I will still go well. And the guys, what if it doesn't go well? And she kept saying it again, if that doesn't go well, I will still do well, because that does not really define me. I will still do well, and I'm looking to embrace that right now and hold that in my chest that, if Saturday doesn't go well, I will still do well. But I'm praying that Saturday goes well. Saturday, please go well. Saturday, please go well. Let the lives be impacted. Let the speakers touch souls. Let them touch my soul included. Let every attendees of that event of Reset for Success 2025, let them go home and never remain the same. Let 2025 be recorded as a different year for them. Now I feel like I'm praying and I'm, it's just a matter of seconds now. I start speaking in tongues. Let the event go so well that it will be the talk and the center of people's conversation in 2025. That, you know what, thank goodness I attended Reset for Success 2025. In Jesus' name, I hope so, in the name of Jesus. So at the end of each year, the reds and ambers tend to be zoomed into the more, either as a result of societal pressures or even self-imposed pressures. Are you like that? Are you with me on that? Sometimes I'm like, my friends like, that's only happening in your head, Esther. I got some brutal friends. They're not nice people. They're not nice people. I don't even think they listen to my podcast anymore. But if one of them is listening to my podcast, they're thinking, yeah, we know we are not, they're not nice. My friends are not nice people. My friends are ready to get, if those rehabs where you commit people into, if things like that exist here in the UK, I'm sure my friends would have had them come to my door and get me committed. That's not even funny. But yeah, I hope you have wonderful, loving, adorable people around you. But, we all care about each other so much that, it can be crazy sometimes. But your reds and ambers, are they self-imposed red and ambers? Is it maybe social media or in real life comparison that you're struggling with? Or maybe you're just overlooking how far you've actually come. And instead, you're focusing on your unmet goals. Oh, sisters, misters, I think when you listen to the beginning of my pod, if you start listening to this podcast at a particular episode in between these 40s, this is luxurious lifestyle for me, please go listen to the beginning of it when I was telling my story, from beginning, the abandoned teenager that ended up in an asylum camp and potentially even in prison before she turned 15. And she's here right now, impacting life, changing lives, and just being herself, being the kind of person that God has created her to be, and touching lives, and we pray as I go into 2025 that more lives will be touched, more souls will be impacted, and more goals will be achieved. At the end of the year, reflection often feels like you're looking at a report card, and it's so natural. It's natural for you to zoom into the low scores, the areas that are not doing well at all in your life. So as I was saying, I got interrupted earlier by a call that came in from the family. But at the end of the year, it often feels like, we're looking at a report card of January, February, March, April, May, June. And something about those months, the past months, is that it's easy to zoom into the low scores. But just imagine, just get on this part of the train with me very quickly. Just imagine if you shift your mindset. If we all shift our mindset and we also frame the greens as the wins of the year instead of looking at the low scores. Do you know what? Reflection without celebration can steal the joy of progress. Let me say that again. Reflection without celebration can steal the joy of progress. I mentioned all the sort of hindrances that will steal joy, that will divert your attention from the greens earlier. Things like comparison, either you want to be perfect at something, you're focusing on what could have been better rather than, celebrating what is better, imposter syndrome. Yeah, that's another one. Oh my goodness. My event is in few days. Imposter syndrome. I know. Your imposter syndrome will often make it a goal. Yeah, like the goal aims an objective to dismiss your greens or make your greens look like it's just luck. You're just lucky. Or make your greens look like they're insignificant. That's what imposter syndrome does. Or maybe even overcommitment is a form of hindrance that still joys from the greens. Overcommitment helps you forget greens because you're too busy. Now you're too busy. Busy. You're too busy. So you've overcommitted yourself that you don't even see the greens anymore. You don't see the greens. Now, one thing I want you to understand from this particular episode on rags of life, do a rag log of your life. Do a rag log of your life and intentionally focus on the greens, intentionally nurture the greens, intentionally celebrate your greens, intentionally. You remember at the beginning of the year, I did mention I was going to start a testimony log. Yes, I did. And I can't wait. I might record it or I might just write about it. I'm thinking an article will be best for me. I'm not sure I want to read all the testimonies out because there's been some great testimonies this year, despite the fact that this is one of the year where I met the lowest of low of me. The year I had 2 emotional breakdowns down that I could not even control it. You know that's quotable quote or that poem that can you something about something you cannot control, you have to leave what you can't control and everything. I just could not control what I can't control this year because it was just waterworks all the time. It was just waterworks all the time. I don't know if is it the age? I'm still young, guys. Like, I don't understand what's happening. One thing I know for sure is I don't understand what is happening. But my friends, they seem to understand what is happening. They're like, you girl need to get yourself checked in into therapy. Into therapy. Life is cyclical. It's, circle. Your greens today, that's one thing I've also come to understand, that sometimes your greens even move. It's wavy on a wavy level. Your greens today might be amber tomorrow, and sometimes vice versa. Your amber can become green and vice versa. So celebrating greens isn't ideal of, you celebrating your greens doesn't really mean you're denying the reds, or you're in denial about your reds or ambers, because sometimes it can feel like that oh my goodness, I'm celebrating this, but this has not happened, that has not happened. Maybe you're celebrating buying a new curtain, but what you actually really need that is on your goal board is buying a house. Yeah, I know you can say it's intangible in comparison to buying a house, right? That you bought a new curtain. But yeah, I want you to know tonight that celebrating greens isn't a denial of your reds or your amber, but it's very important to find a balance, strike a balance of gratitude and awareness, because it's important. Acknowledging your baby steps leads into your big steps is very important. Every baby steps adds up. I know we all hear the saying. We're going to be hearing a lot of it very soon again, because there will be gazillions vision boards happening in January. And there is one happening, by the way, that is being organized by Grown Vibes. And yes, I will gladly announce it to you now. Please go check them out on Instagram. Follow them, and don't just follow them. Their upcoming event in January, Grown Vibes. I am on the speaker list. So please follow them and, just connect and be there so I can see you. And, we can do the Not For My Village People handshakes. Do we have handshakes? Let's create one at the Grown Vibes event happening in January. Pick up your tickets already. Don't miss out on the early birds. Please, guys, acknowledge the baby steps, because your baby steps are the steps that adds up to becoming big leaps for you. Now, green moments remind us that we are capable, we are strong and progressing. Even when other areas need more work, the green moments. But if you do not rag out your life, put a rag to it, put a rag status to your life, to the happenings in your life, to the important things in your life, to your parts, to your sections, to your segments in your life. It's very easy for the red and the ambers to overshadow it, that you do not realize that the greens actually matter. The greens are your baby steps. And sometimes the greens can even be big steps. Okay. So, create a gratitude jar. At the beginning of the year, I said I created a testimony log. Feel free to create that, or create a gratitude chart. It helps you visualize your progress. Celebrate yourself, sisters, misters. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. If you do not celebrate yourself, who will? I'm currently looking into and begging and praying to God that I am able to do some gratitude trips. Gratitude trips, by the way, secret between myself and other mothers. Gratitude trips are trips that you do by yourself. You just go have fun yourself. This is me calling out and shouting out to those that need to give me approval for my January holiday. I would like to go somewhere and go and celebrate gratitude and just be appreciative of the things I've managed to achieve in 2024, which is a lot. Yes, I would appreciate some time to go and celebrate my wins. Okay, so please help me celebrate my wins. And also, for every red or amber you identify, find a green. There's a reason I'm saying that. I was reading one of my Bible plan daily reads this week, and one of the things that was asked for us to do, that we were asked to do, was, how many things are on your ask or want or need list right now that you're praying to God about? However plenty they are, however more they are, I don't know if those are good English. It's late at night. I'm recording this late at night, and my English is not Englishing anymore. Remember, I'm multilingual. Whatever it is that you have on your list, if it is 3 items, multiply it by 2 and put that in gratitude form. Find gratifications, things that you're grateful for in your life for those same things. So if you find 3 things that you wanting and you've been praying about, now multiply it by 2, which then makes it 6, and find 6 things that you're grateful for in your life. It'll be weird if it's hard for you to find, but sometimes you're in seasons where it's actually hard for you to find anything good about your life. Trust me, I've been there. But I'm also telling you to trust me that I know there are 1001 things in your life that you can be grateful for. You just gotta look. And when it's difficult for you to look, is because you're only zooming into the red and amber things of your life. So here is your reminder to zoom into the green things of your life, so you can add it to your gratitude journal or gratitude list. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. So, you know what? Celebrate the greens. But don't forget, don't ignore the red and ambers. It's important for you as well. Because the red and ambers, what they do is they provide valuable lessons and opportunities for growth. That's what your red and ambers does. So as the year comes to an end, sisters, misters, it's December. We only have a few days left in December, 26 days approximately. At the time I was recording this, 26 days. Ask yourself, what are the seeds that you planted this year? And how can you nurture them into next year? What are the things you planted in 2024? And how can you nurture them into 2025? Sisters, misters, life is about seasons, and in every season there is something worth celebrating. I assure you, don't just endure, rejoice, because I know for sure there are greens in your life that you need to celebrate. They deserve celebration. Celebrate your greens, sisters, misters. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Not For My Village People. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope it's going to help you put whatever you need to put in check, whatever you need to put in balance, whatever you need to work on into 2025, that you work on them with intention, that you're more intentional about it. Because red, amber, green, everything matters when it comes to your growth and development. But try as much as possible not to zoom into the red and the ambers, because it's the natural thing that we do. I wish you all the very best as we move closer to Christmas. Have you decorated your home? Partially decorated, because I've been tired a lot. So partially decorated. So yes, I'm hoping I am able to decorate after the event, potentially from Sunday, fully decorate. But we managed to get like a kind of Christmas light out in the garden, at the front of the house. Earlier this morning, I'm hoping to put more lights up around the house and maybe even outside as well. I hope you're decorating as well, and you're starting to get into that feel of it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere you go. Now, why am I singing, for goodness sake? Alright, good night, guys. Or bye for now, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to share this with your friends, your family. Help someone make a record of their erect status of their life into 2025, and help them have less meltdowns and less breakdowns in 2025. I wish you all the very best, that you do a report of your life as you put a rag status around your life and your achievement this year. And I hope God help you see more of the greens than the reds and ambers. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time.